Welcome, Swindlers, to Booze on First, special edition, actually. I have my little brother joining me. He'll be on the podcast in the summer, but his name is Mckay Giller, and he has his own podcast or gaming channel. What? It's Goose and
It's
Moose,
called
isn't
Goose
it?
and Monkey Gaming.
Monkey, right? Goose and Monkey. I have it subscribed on my phone, so I never look at the name of your YouTube channel.
Yeah, and you see the goose first
Yeah,
too. So,
awesome.
um, yeah, we post somewhere between 3 and 4 videos a week, depending on how I'm feeling editing wise. But
Okay, that's a
so
regular schedule. That's
yeah, yeah.
and what, just for the viewers, what's your channel about? Obviously gaming, but
My girlfriend and I, we play different types of games. We have different shows. I think our favorite show to do is probably Pajama Party, where we dress up in onesies and we play different games. Right now, we're playing. We have two series while wearing PJs. Um, we have a series where we play Overwatch, and we have a series where we play Borderlands 2. And they're pretty. Those are pretty good.
pretty
Um,
fancy.
they're pretty entertaining. I dress
Gotta.
up in a Tigger onesie, and she has a piglet one. So,
Why
you
don't
know,
you why don't you have a goose and a monkey?
because they, how you think they sell geese onesies? We
I
have the
bet
ads.
you
They're up there.
I bet you I could go on Amazon right now.
We struggled to find a goose beanie. Like that
Uh
was took us a while at first, and then we thought we were gonna wear them in all of our videos. We didn't wear them. We wore them in the introduction video, and that was it.
well,
So,
they okay. It's not right when it pulls up, but I have to find it. I'll find one.
all right, good luck.
Yeah, I bet you they're in England because the geese, they're obsessed with
Yeah,
geese.
tons of
Or is
them
it
in there.
swans?
Who knows? I'm not from England. I don't.
Anyway,
I have a British friend, but I don't know.
so you guys are probably wondering why my little brother is on here with us today without being on the actual show and what the hell's going on. Well, we are. My little brother asked me a question earlier about DC, and he was like, "What the?" Well, he didn't say what the fuck is that, but in my mind, I read, "What the fuck is that?" So, I decided that I need to train him because he has a game. You're taking a gaming class, right?
Yeah, so it's called Games 101 at NYU. It's like the history of games, and we're on RPGs this week. So obviously we're going to talk about D&D, and D, and every week
The birthplace.
we have a 2 hour lecture about a genre of video games or a genre of games. We've talked about sports and board games before, and then later that week we have a recitation where we meet and play
Hmm.
usually 3 to 4 games and then write a paper about that game. But this week, because it's RPGs, we're just playing D&D.
Yeah, it's
Um,
gonna take that long.
so we're doing like a relatively short campaign. I don't think anybody in my recitation's ever played D&D before. It's my first time playing D&D, and I volunteered to be a dungeon master. So,
You're a fucking idiot.
well, I mean, it was going to be everybody's first time. So, I took an L. I took an L for the team.
You took an L. So you you know what DC is for our viewers and our listeners. If you don't know what DC is, it is fuck. I just completely blanked.
Difficulty check.
Yeah. Sorry, I have been drinking already.
Well, that's the
It
name of the game.
yeah,
Who's on
but
first?
but yeah. So difficulty check. A difficulty check. You set it, or it is already set for you via a spell or various other things,
Right.
and the person has to roll a d20, and it has to be above whatever the DC modifier is,
As
plus
long as
whatever skill.
Well, so here's a question. If it's like a DC 15 and their modifier's like 3, they can roll a 12 and still pass it, right?
Yes, it
As long as
really
the total is whatever it is.
yes. So it gets a bit complicated on what rule set you plan to follow. So normally a DM does whatever rule set, like they do a homebrew. They use the D&D rules and then they come up with their own.
Right.
There are some standard
That's
ones,
interesting.
such
That
as
actually that actually comes from the co-creators of D&D. One of the games one of them, I think it was Gygax. He had a game that was like all about the rules
Mm-hmm.
before D&D, but he's like the rules don't cover everything in for that game. So he's like, just come up with your own rules if you come up with a situation that doesn't have a rule for it, and
Yeah.
then set it. So that's interesting that like followed into D&D.
There's some interesting things historically with D&D, especially because you'll see that from the different editions as they realized, oh shit, we've been playing this game and this person came up with this really good idea. We should use that. And you
Hmm.
see it modifying, and I'm interested to see what happens in sixth edition, which should be
So is that
coming
coming
out
out
in a
soon?
few years. No, they just upgraded to fifth edition, so it'll
Oh, so
take
it'll
a
be a
few
while.
years. Well, I mean, they come out with editions more and more often now because it's
Well, if
become
they're
so
only on
popular.
fifth and it's been out since what, the 70s?
Yeah,
So,
but 3.5 lasted a long time, but there were a lot of issues with 3.5 that were sort of fixed in fourth edition, and they fucked some things up royally in fourth edition. So no one wanted to play it, and then they came out with fifth edition. And I'm kind of mad they got rid of some of my favorite things of D&D, like streetwise checks and various other things. But what are your specific questions?
I guess so in the campaign there are these boxes of text that it says to read verbatim,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then there's a bunch of information like oh, like if they ask these questions, here are the answers, or like things like that, right?
Yeah.
Um, how much like I guess how much do you help them along? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Ah, I can't hear
do,
you.
oh, hold up, I gotta entertain people for a few seconds because my brother's a bumbling idiot. I'm sorry, what?
Sorry. Thanks. I was trying to find my Curse of Strahd book. Uh, but let me pull out my microphone or my headphones and say your question again.
So, how much do you like help them along?
Uh, it depends, really.
Or like, what if they ask something that's not set?
Such as.
Well, like, so for instance, um, the beginning of the campaign, um, it's like you go to a farm, and
Yeah.
then they're like one of the kids is sick, um, and the question is like you can like talk to people at the farm, but
Yeah.
like, what if they ask a question of the people that isn't given an answer? Do I just make something up, or
Well, it depends. Have you read the whole campaign?
I'm like pretty far on the campaign. I'm at
What
page
is the
10 of
campaign?
15. Oh, it's the Heralds of New Morning or something. Hold on.
Ooh, that's a
The
good one.
Dreaming Heralds.
That's a. I can't find it. Um,
I can't hear you anymore.
you can't hear me.
Now I can. There it is.
Sorry. That's actually a good campaign to start off with. My favorite campaign of all time is Curse of Strahd. It was originally oh fuck, I'm completely blanking on what the original name was, and someone will geek rage at me over it later on. Um, but it's all good. Throw it at me. Um, so when you've read through most of the campaign, you have an idea of where things are going,
Right. So
and
like you just answer based on your knowledge, or
or you could do whatever the fuck you want. You're DM, you're God. So you want the overall goals to end up where the campaign is leading, but you can have interesting diverts. Like someone could go and ask the farmer, "What street do you live on?" And you have to come up with that street name.
right.
Or what's the name of the hardware store? And you have to come up with the name of the hardware store, and you have to come up with voices, and you have to do all these things. So it's
Yeah.
the cool thing about being DM is not only do you get to create the story, but you also get to be forced into situations where you have to think on your feet.
Right.
You do have
Um.
to read those things though if you're going to follow the campaign strictly. But some
Well, I
fun.
that's what I imagine we're gonna do. The other question is, what information is on that board you sit in front of you? Because I don't have the board, but like I imagine that they're gonna give it to us tomorrow, because otherwise I'm not reading the whole 111-page rule book and memorizing every rule.
Let me. There's actually a longer rule book. Let me show you. So,
Sorry, everybody.
so this is what it looks like, and it
Okay,
sits like this in
right.
a basically half pentagon.
That's more
Um,
than two and a half.
Shut the
That's
fuck
more than a
up.
pentagon, Murphy.
It's a square.
That means
Um,
it's half an octagon.
but I fucking hate you. So on the left side, it has characteristics. So basically, you can use this side for NPC characteristics when a person asks you about the farmer, for example. You can roll a d20. So this is my critical hit d20. It'll light up when it gets a crit hit. Um, I can show you.
Whoa.
Yeah, got it off thinkgeek.com. Please sponsor us. Uh, And so a one is an absent-minded, four is choose something, five is clumsy, and then it has NPC ideals: aspiration, charity, freedom. You have NPC bonds, which are personal goal or achievement. Family members, you roll a d10 for that. D12 for flaws, arrogance, forbidden love, overpowering greed. Usually I don't use this. It also has a name generator that you can use, which is pretty cool.
Right. Is there stuff for battles? Like,
Yes, there is. So let me see. So it has this side right here that's conditions, which is blinded, charmed, deafened, frightened, grappled, petrified, restrained, prone, all that stuff. And what happens when someone is under exhaustion. It also has, for you, your original question, setting a DC. It has the different levels. If you want it to be very easy, you set a DC of 5. Easy,
obviously. That's just
10.
probability.
Yeah, moderate, 15. Hard, 20. Very hard, 25. Nearly impossible, 30. The
Wait, how
highest
could it be more than? I thought you just roll a d20 on a DC.
you do. However, some people's skill modifier can be all the way up to 6 or 7. So if you roll high enough, you can actually beat a 30. It's nearly impossible, but the highest you can get is a skill modifier of 10. So if you were to get a 20 and you get a 10,
Right.
you win. Plus, people can assist you. So if someone wants to assist another person, and this is something you should be able to say as a DM, hey, do you want to, if someone rolls poorly, you could be like, hey, I really need you to know this information as your
Yeah.
room collapses. You can say,
Yeah.
can you assist them? And they can give them whatever you really want to assign to the dot. That's no
That's not
better.
better. I'm just trying to.
That's
I'm trying to get this
worse.
out of the shot, and it's not working.
And you're just moving the camera now.
Oh
Oh,
God. Oh God. All right. Whatever. Just deal with it. There's a cord in my room. I'm sorry.
oh my god, that's great. Uh, but it has a lot of interesting stuff on it. They should be able to give it to you. Uh, you don't really need it. It's mainly it during combat, showing you what some of the disadvantages are or conditions. I
Yeah. I
never
just don't
use it.
know. The other thing is, how does the? Could you briefly explain to me how the movement system works?
What do you mean?
Like, I saw this box, and it just seemed really confusing. Like, if you have to go a distance, what does that do, and how does it work?
So someone can travel. Typically, it's 30 feet in any direction, walking. It's up to 60 feet if running, but that's called a dash action. And in a dash action, they have to roll success or failure.
Got it. What about um? So like they go from a farm to like a temple.
Yep.
Um, um, and the temple's 3 miles away.
hmm
So how does that kind of movement work? Obviously, they're not going to sit. because it says it should take 2 hours or something like that. I don't know if that makes sense.
You can skip over that whole travel time if you want. You can be like, if you guys want, we can skip over this, or if they want to have a quick conversation about something they were discussing in the town and plan and strategize, they can do that. And then you go, oh, and 2 hours go by, and suddenly you're at the temple.
Yeah.
Uh, that's the best way to do travel. For example, in Booze on First, we had this moment where they had to do a week's worth of traveling, and I skipped over a lot of it. They were just
Yeah. So
basically
like,
bantering.
are there like negative effects depending on how fast you travel and stuff like that? Like
I mean, you can
you're
set
tired
some.
if you travel fast?
I mean, yeah. If you are traveling at breakneck speeds, you're going to get tired.
Right.
And you can have them roll at disadvantage, which means if they go into combat right
Oh,
away,
so they're like
you,
they have lower.
yeah, you take away two
Got it.
points or do
Got it.
whatever you want.
Um. Um. Okay. I don't know what like specific questions I have because, like again, I haven't been in there. I haven't been in. Um. Yeah, I haven't done it yet. Um. But I'm pretty excited to do it.
Yeah,
It seems
it's
like it'd
gonna
be
be
fun.
fun. A suggestion with the temple, there's traps and things, right?
Oh, a ton.
So you can come up with a riddle, and this is a great DM trick, one of the best actually. You can come up with a riddle and do a rhyme, right? And then
Mhm.
you don't have a solution to the riddle. It's whatever suggestion they come up with that you like best. And
Okay.
you seem like you're a god, and you're like, wow, that was really good planning on your part, and you never ever tell them. You never reveal to the players that you had
Well,
no plan.
you just revealed to all your viewers, so
No, it's actually a classic DM trick. It's how they figured out a lot of things with the Curse of Strahd. If you ever listen to Gygax
I lost
talk
you.
about it, can you hear me?
Whoa, that's so weird. Every time like I lose you, you stop talking and then say something and then I can hear you again. Like it
Oh,
like knows that what you just said was like a part of one phrase or something.
uh, Gygax actually used that as a famous way of figuring out the Curse of Strahd,
Oh.
which is actually my favorite campaign.
The one
So
thing that
good.
I'm disappointed about DMing is that like it means that I don't get to have a player because I've never played it before. So it means I don't get to have a player with any level. Like I would much rather start up character, but like also no one else volunteered. Like we needed
Yeah,
4 volunteers and 3 people had volunteered, so I was like, I'll do it.
see, the best thing about this though is that you do have the opportunity to be a player character, and you have the opportunity to be a player character on a podcast, Booze on First,
Oh,
and Drinks and
what podcast would
Droids.
that be? Yeah, I was gonna say. Is there a
But
particular podcast that you might be a part of?
yeah, there might be. No, fucking
Huh.
asshole. Uh, I let you advertise for free.
So
Yes.
yeah, I mean, as for DMing, like, I'm feeling pretty good about it. I think it's gonna go pretty well.
Do you know how combat works?
I mean, I have a vague understanding, right? Like, you like if there's a random encounter, then you figure out the hit points and everything, and then you do different rolls, and it depends on who attacks first and stuff, and whether they can get surprised or.
So, here's the deal. When you have a random encounter, if the people are surprised, you basically you want to go, can somebody roll a perception check for me? And if they fail, they're surprised. And the combatant or the enemy gets to go first. But
Hmm.
then you have them roll a d20. And you have them roll a d20 for what's called initiative. An initiative works basically whoever gets the highest score goes first. But in this instance, they're surprised. So the combatant goes first. And then you have them roll initiative and they get their order right. And if someone ties, they have a roll off. They each roll a d20 and whoever gets the highest number goes before. But for Combat specifically, enemies and player characters have one standard action and one bonus action. And
Uh-huh.
if they have a bonus action assigned in their skills sheet. So, what kind of enemies do you have pre-made for you? You should have some.
Um, Hold on, let me pull it up.
Either Cobaloids or Drow.
I mean, there's a lot. So on the path to the thing, there's a lot of potential for random encounters.
Yeah.
Some of them are so there's six options. You roll a d6 to see which one you get. A one d4 wolves, briar trip, strange fetishes, which is a weird word to use in this instance, I think.
Do you know what a
But
fetish
whatever.
originally is?
Is it just like a marking or something?
Basically, or it can also be a creature in ancient lore. A fetish was something that was taboo or weird.
That
Hence
makes sense.
the, yeah.
One brown bear, one d6 sturges, one d3 dire wolves. Those are the
Oh,
options.
Jesus. Dire wolves.
Those are just the random encounters. There's like a snake you can run into at the temple, and then there's other enemies at the temple, obviously.
What's your snake voice?
It doesn't have it doesn't it's just like it doesn't have lines, but
You can always. I had a Merilith in the last couple episodes, and I had her go, "Where is Tom Riddle?" Just like to mess with the people. Um,
I'm excited. I need to work on my girl voice, I think is going to be the hardest part.
okay, so I'll admit something to you and the viewers. Mary's voice, I hated it from the beginning because I sounded like a Monty Python woman.
Uh-huh.
And then I changed it to just giving it a little falsetto of, "Oh dear, whatever shall we do?" It's not Monty Python, thank God. It hurts to do the Monty Python voice. Let's hear your
Yeah.
girl. Oh my
Okay.
God. Okay.
Let me try it. Let me try it. I've never tried it. I just
Okay.
assumed it needed work. Um,
You've heard it here
my
first.
poor brother. He's so sick with the poison. That's my girl
Oh my
voice.
God! Wait! I lost it. I get it. I'll get to hear it on the replay. But what was that?
It's he's so sick with the poison.
Oh
I
my
was thinking
God!
about doing like a southern accent, like a I do declare,
Oh
I
dearie!
do
You need
declare,
to go get a fan before class and just like
and just
fan
all of a
yourself.
sudden whip it out and nobody expects it.
Yeah, you want some sweet tea? Like,
Yeah,
I have some
these.
sweet Georgia peaches.
So yeah, I'm pretty.
You want
I'm
some
excited.
popsicles?
Yeah. What time is it? Oh my God,
Yeah,
I have to go
sorry.
to bed.
Uh, I would be interested after your experience tomorrow night to finish up this video with how you did and what your thoughts were on it and what your
Yeah,
specific questions are after that.
yeah.
So,
I mean, it's definitely a check off my bucket list.
yeah.
Playing D&D.
Well, this summer you'll be joining us on Booze on First and Drinks and Droids. If you want to follow my little brother, which you should because he's awesome and I love his gaming
Thank you.
show, I have it on notification and watch it every time it comes up. He can be found at Goose and Monkey Gaming, sorry. Uh,
Yeah.
and yeah,
We're, again, we post videos. We definitely post videos every Wednesday and Friday, and then sometime we plan to post them on Sundays and Mondays too. But sometimes, I only post one of those two.
yeah,
And they go up at 6:30 Eastern time every day,
awesome.
every one of those days. Yep.
That's 3:30 here on Pacific time and something in the middle. In
Yeah. For all the other states.
yeah, and yeah, thank you for listening, and you'll hear more from my little brother again when after he's done his DMing thing and has specific questions. But keep on swimming, guys. Bye.